It's been a long run, but yeah, we've come to an end, my friends. The end of that little mini-series we were doing where we were putting together an outfit, so a monobrand outfit from Benzak Denim developers. First we covered the hoodies and the t-shirt, then we covered the jacket, and then in the most recent video we covered the jeans. I'm pointing to the corners like I'm going to put links up there, but I always forget. Just like cleaning the bathroom or taking out the trash. I really need to take out the trash. Or feeding the cat. You don't have a cat. Yeah, cause and effect. I'm joking. I don't have a cat. I never had a cat. No, I did have a cat. I had 2 cats when I was a kiddo. Black cat and grey cat. We weren't the most imaginative at naming them, I must admit, but we always fed them. And if I had a cat now, I would definitely feed it. But I'm more of a dog person, and I would feed that too. And if it shat in the street, I'd pick up after it. Dog owners, you've been warned. Right, anyway, the last part of the outfit isn't necessarily part of the outfit. If I'm very honest with you guys, I got this because I'm a magpie and I like bright shiny things. And really, the shirt would go with mostly all of it, apart from the jacket. And the only reason it really doesn't work all that well with the jacket is lined with exactly the same fabric. And yeah, that's just, it's a bit of a weird flex, but it's fine because let's face it, I have enough other jackets that are going to go perfectly well with this shirt. And, oh God, okay, it's a bit too warm in here for a denim jacket and a hoodie. There's a couple of other reasons I got this as well. This flannel fabric, this has been custom made for Benzak. So that means that Leonard chose the colors, he chose the design, chose the pattern, chose the weight of the fabric, chose how it was finished. So I was very curious to see A, what the fabric was like, and B, how that translated into the Benzak lineup and into the shirting. But honestly guys, I just wanted another flannel shirt. I've only got one, and that's really not enough for all the blue collar valor I intend to steal. There's a lot of alsos, a lot of caveats, a lot of justification for just getting a shirt. Is there anything else? I think that's it. I actually know this fabric pretty well, because like I said, the jacket's lined with it. But the first thing that you're going to notice straight out of the box is it's really not as in-your-face yellow as it appears to be on the website. I do really like how it looked on the website. I mean, obviously I got it, but this I feel is just far more wearable. It's definitely still cheerful, but yeah, this is a little bit more toned down in reality from what you see in the website pictures. Then you get your hands on it and it is so super soft. After the fabric's been woven, it is brushed. I believe it is brushed once on the outside and twice on the inside, just to make the inside that little bit softer, which makes it really perfect for the lining of the jacket. And yeah, it doesn't feel as bulky as some flannels I've found, but it still has some heft to it because it's been woven at quite a high tension. The basic design of the shirt is a work shirt, which works with the whole flannel narrative. So that's a pretty regular fitting block, then with the 2 chest pockets with flaps. It's classic, it's simple, but with all things classic and simple, it's the details that really defines whether this is a good or a bad, or a good and a great shirt. And I have to say that attention to the details that Benzak's thought about first of all, and the way that the manufacturers over in Portugal have executed this shirt, it really makes it, honestly, a great shirt. Just the way that really everything matches across the front here from one side to the next, and then over to the back as well. Everything lines up absolutely perfectly. I guess it really should, but I imagine that's not the easiest thing to do. And here's a nice detail it's far too easy to miss, but it's a beautiful detail. You see here at the front, normally you'd have a button plaquette running down the front, which would break up the aesthetic a little bit. It might interrupt the flow of this check. But here what they've done is they've folded it over, they've run a very narrow stitch along here, and then they put the buttonholes in, which just makes the whole thing look much, much cleaner. And then there are the pockets, the 2 pockets here at the front. They are cut at a 45-degree angle to the run of the check on overall the shirt. And that looks like really, really exact. And this is right out of the vintage flannel shirt playbook. And then I think also at the yoke on the back, this is exactly the same. And then also in the yoke at the back, you've got this subtle curve that runs over here, which I think is over most of the Benzak shirt line. I'm not entirely sure, but I think so. Okay, what else? Down at the bottom here, there's the little sort of reinforced gussets, and then there's the chain stitch runoff here. Jelka absolutely hates this. She thinks that it's a production error, it's not finished. She always wants to keep trimming them off. And then somewhere, I did spot it earlier, down at the bottom somewhere, yeah, there it is. There's the little bullhorn logo that's been embroidered here in a tonal thread. Oh yeah, and I should have mentioned all the stitching, the bar tacks, etc., they're all in a tonal thread as well. So nothing really interrupts the flow of the flannel fabric pattern. And speaking of that, this is actually really worth mentioning. This is a woven check pattern in here. If you're looking at cheaper flannel fabrics with the check pattern, you might see that it's been printed on. So you only see the check pattern on the outside, but here you see it on the outside and the inside. And then there are the buttons, which are a matte black cat eye button. I mean, they're really, really good quality, don't get me wrong, but this is the only thing on the shirt that I think I would change. I would just love it if they were a little bit bigger. I think that would work better aesthetically and also in a practical sense. As I said, the fabric has some heft to it, some bulk to it. So when you're doing these up, it does feel like a little bit fiddly, which actually is a little bit weird because I think it's the same size buttons on the denim shirt. Hold on, I'll be back in a second. Focus. Yeah, it's the same size buttons on the denim shirt, but this fabric's not that much lighter and this works fine. Maybe I'm just being too pernickety. Pernickety? Both sound wrong. But yeah, they wouldn't need to have to be as big as the buttons on the military shirt, which I have to get up to show you again. Yeah, they wouldn't need to be as big as these buttons, but yeah, something in between I think would work very well. Oh, this is just such a nice fabric, like really. But anyway, back to the flannel, concentrate mat. As I said, it is a pretty regular fit. And I did end up sizing up from a large to an extra large in this. I want to wear this as an overshirt. And for that, I need a little bit extra room, you know, just if I want to wear a hoodie or something underneath, then yeah, I do need that little bit extra space. But I think with just the whole flannel shirt vibe, I think a little bit oversized really works. Okay, sorry for the big lighting jump here. I guess it looks really different. We had a visit from our Hebamme, which is midwife in English, I think. As soon as one new German word comes in my head, an English word gets pushed out. Anyway, we had a visit from our midwife. Yeah, the system here is incredible. I was talking to a friend of mine, Eric. Shout out Eric. I was talking to Eric and he was saying that his wife only got something like 4 or 6 weeks off from her work unpaid. Yoko's just about to go on parental leave and she's going to get a year and a half. A year and a half up to 3 years. That's amazing. And then we've got our midwife who has come, I don't know, 3-4 times to the flats, and she's going to come like after the birth almost every single day. Like really the way that Germany supports people having children is amazing. I don't really know how it is in the UK or the US or anywhere else in the world actually, but I don't think it's nearly as good as it is here, and I'm really grateful for it. And this has got really nothing to do with denim or menswear or anything like that, but that's why the lighting's changed. Probably should have said to you guys at the beginning of this whole monologue just to skip over this 1 minute 22. Sorry, Right, now back to regular programming. The shirt just goes beautifully with a denim jacket. It just really works. But it also works really extremely well over the hoodie. But you see what I mean about I needed a little bit extra space. It goes really well with the grey t-shirt. Now, it doesn't really work as well with the yellow. I don't think it really works with the yellow actually, and that's just because these two yellows are not exactly the same, but too similar to really work. And anyway, like a yellow t-shirt with a yellow shirt, that would be just too much. Yes, I'm not quite sure about this. Fuck, I'm really losing the light. Right, this is another slight problem. I think that this works so nicely together. There's this brown and the yellow. It does, it looks super good, but then every so often you get a flash of this, and that to me is a little bit too much, which I mean is totally fine because as I said, I've got plenty of other jackets to go with it. But I guess if I'm doing this again, if I was doing this again, and it wasn't for the fact that I've got about a billion leather jackets, denim jackets, I might really think about going with the denim one for the outfit. Just something to think about. Fuck. For the last part, I really am going to set up a light. I was hoping to avoid that. That's such a pain in the arse, and my lights are shit. But anyway, right, let's do that. But I'd hope it kind of goes without saying that the shirt works with the jeans. But the jeans are at the moment along a Bergen Shield getting hemmed. As I mentioned, because of the heavyweight denim and they come in a long length, yeah, it's really important to get it hemmed because if you're doing any more than one turn up, you get this really big fat donut down at the bottom. It just makes everything, especially with the taper in the jeans, it just makes everything look a little bit bottom heavy. It doesn't work with the boots that I want to wear with it. So that's just something to keep in mind, that you should have somewhere quite close by that can do a good chain stitch hem for you. I think that's something that Len offers in the site actually, so yeah, something to keep in mind. It's also worth saying that all of these pieces, they work with pretty much all the other clothing that I own. That's important. You want a bit of variety in there. You don't want to be top to toe in the one brand, as much as actually I'm sure Len would love that. Having the ability to mix and match with everything else, that's really important. And I actually crouched down here to find the adapter for my light. This, like okay, I'm basically wearing two shirts right now and a jacket, but this is super warm. It's actually too warm. I'm going to take it off in a second. Right, that brings us, oh God. Seriously, if you're thinking of embarking on a YouTube career, think twice about it. And also, never get these newer lights. The lights themselves are okay, they're pretty cheap, but the adapters are complete horseshit. If I stop uploading videos suddenly one time, it's because this thing's giving me an electric shock and I've died. Right, that brings us pretty much onto... That's too bright now. Right, that brings us pretty much onto the last part of what this video and what this series is going to be. And that's what I found out about Benzak the brand through looking at all of these pieces and through putting together an outfit out of just the Benzak pieces. And I'm going to warn you right now, this bit is completely unscripted, so I'm bound to just wander off in tangents here and there. Is that better? I don't know. Right, and I'm still wearing the yellow t-shirt that I said doesn't go well with it. But whatever, I'm gonna just roll with it for now. Oh. Yeah, that's the perfect example of my gripe about jackets being lined in cotton. Although, I don't know, is it more durable? Whatever. Anyway, right, like as I said, this could go off in tangents. Concentrate. What did I find out about Benzak, the brand, through putting together this outfit? Through really getting to know these pieces and seeing it as a more holistic entity rather than just looking at the details of the jeans or the shirt, the jacket or whatever. So there was no surprises in any of this. I'm familiar with the brand. I'm certainly very intimately familiar with the jeans. What I see from the jeans side of things, like Len has nailed every aspect of where his jeans are at. I can really say that. And he pretty much did from the beginning. There's been tweaks here and there. There's been evolution, certainly. There's been new fits introduced, which is great. But the jeans are just honestly such a high level that I'd love to see what he could do to make them better, but they really are just such a high level that I don't think that they can be. Glenn, correct me if I'm wrong by sending me another pair of jeans. The rest of the pieces also are amazing quality. They're some of the best pieces of whatever they might be. That's the individual pieces. For the brand itself, I see this in a really nice place narrative-wise, and it could just be because of the idea behind the outfit that I had, but it's this chicken and egg thing. I don't know if that idea behind the outfit came before seeing the pieces and then putting it together in a certain way. But I see this, the Benzak collection, in the context of when American workwear was just probably leading the entire world in that respect. Like there was that aesthetic and that quality and that craftsmanship, that made in America thing that a lot of brands, emulation is not the right word, but a lot of brands are inspired to that level nowadays when they're looking at making a pair of jeans or a jacket or whatever it might be. It's that sort of 1960s, 1970s, we're going to make this in America the best way we possibly can. And just by default, the best way they possibly could was getting all of the pieces from the States. Before really denim found its way into fashion and before the bottom lines started coming into play so strongly. And this is also still a bit bright, I think. Yeah, so I see the aesthetic coming through from this era, which is nice and it's refreshing because so much of the aesthetic in Selvedge denim and in the collections that you see from a lot of brands is inspired from the perceived heyday of the blue jeans. So the 40s and 50s, you know, that kind of like, would it be like Marlon Brando in The Wild One, James Dean, that kind of aesthetic, or even going further back than that, where it would be when denim was like genuinely workwear before it got adopted by either the counterculture or fashion, when it was, I don't know, for cowboys or like down a mine or something. So it's refreshing to see a collection that is pulling from this era, and yeah, that's the best way that I can describe where I think the brand is. What is going to be interesting is that at some point in the future, I do want to sit down with Leonard and I do want to talk to him about exactly this point, because I mean, the collection's not coming from nowhere, right? He's not designing these pieces completely in isolation from one another. Subconsciously, consciously, he's definitely got an idea about where or how this collection hangs together. And I'm wondering if his perception of that, or his idea behind that, his concept of Benzak as the brand, if that aligns with my idea, my concept of Benzak as a brand. Stay tuned for that. And I'm also very curious about your perception of Benzak as a brand and of the aesthetic that I pulled on. Do you think that really is seated in that 60s and 70s Americana workwear? Or do you think it comes from somewhere else? Just let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, let's just get a conversation started in this. It's going to be quite interesting to see where that goes. Also, when you're down there, a few other things to check out. Naturally, of course, like links to like all of these pieces, for sure. There's also links to the CRD website. You can go over there. There's plenty of stuff to read up on if that's what you're into. What else? Oh yeah, the newsletter. There's a newsletter sign up there. I know so all of you great guys that went to sign up before, I know I've been promising you for a while that I was going to be sending something out, I haven't quite got to it yet. I've been working on it. I've got a really sick logo. So if you want to see that logo at some point, then be sure to sign up. And there's going to be good content around about that, I promise. I don't know where the last few weeks have been. It's just been kind of mad, which probably isn't going to get any better with the impending baby. But yeah, I'll do what I can. You know, I always do what I can for you guys. Okay, this whole lighting situation is getting moodier than a teenager, so I'm going to finish up here. I think I've rambled at you enough anyway. If you're still here, I really, really appreciate it. And I'd also appreciate it if you're not already, hit that subscribe button. And if you have liked it, which I hope you have if you made it this far, then if you could hit that like button, I really appreciate it. It does help the channel out. And that just leaves me to say, guys, as always, I hope all of you are happy and healthy out there. Hope you're taking care of yourselves. Hope you're taking care of each other. And I'm going to see you in the next video.